blood vessels of a blue whale are so big that a trout, which is a very big fish, can swim through them. Ooh. Trout can swim through the blood vessels. How about that?
That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy, and it'd be pretty freaky if there were fish swimming through your blood vessels. That'd be freaky.
Hope it's not tadpoles in there.
Yeah, tadpoles. Yeah. Guess what we're talking about?
New day!
What's talking about today?
Are we talking about pigs?
Pigs? Hey, pigs. I like it. Not today, but I like it. Today we're talking about evolution. Learning stuff.
Risky.
There was a guy in history, a scientist named Charles Darwin, who was a very important guy for coming up with theory of how animals change. Okay, and his theory was called natural selection.
Say it again.
Natural selection,
Nice.
right? And that means that animals, and the most important thing for natural selection is the idea of genetic variation. So we're going to talk about that first. How do genes combine? They combine because two animals make another animal, a baby animal, right? And that's the way in which genes can mix between animals. Okay? And there is what is called, when genes mix, something called random variation. So every time there's a new baby born from a male and female, that baby will have a certain shuffling of genes which are not the same as any other baby.
Or even a mutation that might be crazy. A mutation from your phone, which stretches out a lot longer than a normal
Yeah,
phone.
generally a mutation like that is quite a radical mutation. And that can happen when the genetic material gets damaged by certain things, which can change genes in other ways. For example, chemicals or radioactivity and stuff like that. And that's why you get radical mutations in that way. But normal mutation is very small and gradual. So let's imagine that somebody has a slightly bigger nose than another person. Okay, now the second part of the whole theory comes in, which is the natural selection. Natural selection. Imagine you have a better ability to smell than another baby. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Maybe good.
Why? Why might that be good?
So you might be able to smell things, but there's also a bad part.
What?
Well, remember that time that you told me there was like burning tires when somebody burned tires?
When we were living in Purwakarta.
If anybody had good smelling there, but I didn't, at least I didn't smell the fumes. But if I did,
Then you might get overwhelmed, right, because of your sensitivity. And you might be like overly sensitive because like the burning tires would really aggravate you. Hey, that's true. That's a very good example. Sometimes being too sensitive to something might be bad for you. Now, sometimes good sense of smell could help you. Like how? What's something that smelling it could help your survival? What is it?
you can smell like food items.
Oh, well, yes, food items. Like, yes?
Like if you're in the wilderness and you smell something good.
Well, yes. Like a shark, right? A shark has such an incredible sense of smell, it can detect blood in the water from many miles away. So, right. So it could be like that. Or it could be the other way. It could be danger. You could smell danger before the other baby could. And then you could run away. Forget about babies. The other person could. And then you could run away. And they maybe they wouldn't because they didn't smell it. Okay. So that better sense of smell could help you to survive. And if you survive, you pass on your genes to another, and then your genes, probably the genes for smell, will get passed on. And that's how natural selection works. Cool, eh? Now, what parts of us had to change when we changed from a monkey man to a who man? What parts of our body had to evolve? Very important.
A brain.
The brain is a big one, right? And in order for the brain to evolve and for us to have more capacity up here, we had to evolve a smaller jaw. Okay, that was very important too. And it was also much more difficult for us to give birth because of our large heads. And so other parts of us had to evolve as well. Now, what other parts of our body had to evolve in order for us to become who we are today, aside from our brain? The foot. Now the foot, this foot here, this is a very human, this is nothing like a monkey foot. A monkey foot looks like this for climbing in trees. Now this foot here, it had to evolve to be in this shape, to be completely committed to running and moving forward, as well as the knee. The knee also had to change a lot. See, the knee of a primate is very, very different from this. So this took a long time to evolve, as well as the hip. The hip right here. See, the hip. This hip bone has to be able to move in a walking manner. And this is something that a monkey cannot do, right? Okay. So can we see evolution happening right now in the world around us? No? Why not?
Because it takes millions of years.
It takes millions of years. Generally, when we think of the big evolutionary events, we think about things that take a really long time. For example, to evolve us out of a primate requires many, many stages because there are many, many parts of us which need to change. So in that sense, usually evolution takes a long time. However, we can see evolution happening right now in the mutation of coronavirus. Okay, right now there is a mini microcosm of evolution going on within the viruses because there are so many of the virus cells that each one is a little different from the others, and different strains will eventually come about which are more successful. And they will compete against the other viruses. And right now we've got Omicron and its new variation. And that is natural selection in action, actually. So, evolution. It's all about random genetic mutation and struggle for survival, natural selection. What do you think of evolution? Pretty cool stuff? Uh-huh. Are you evolving? Are you? How?
By growing.
Ah, well, you see, evolving and changing are kind of different things. In a sense, yes, you are evolving in the broad sense of the term evolve. You are changing. But really change is a little different from the process of evolution. You are growing, and everything grows and changes as it goes through its life. Although that's not exactly evolution. Evolution is a slightly different process. Yeah. That's